I've spoken about manipulation itself and how it affects you. It can give you lots of feelings of doubt. It can make you feel indecisive. It can make you feel horrible in general. It can even prevent you from losing your sense of self, losing your own identity. And this is because manipulation by itself, just the natural consequence of being manipulated, can lead you to feel all these negative side effects. And I'm going to go over different manipulator types, how people manipulate others, or how you may even be manipulating other people in your life. And I speak a lot about manipulation being very common in life because as you go throughout your life, whether you're at work or you're with your parents, you're with your family, your friends, whatever it may be, you'll see that manipulation happens all the time because as a society in general, we have this way of communicating with others in which we like to use and guilt tactics and fear even to motivate somebody to get them to do something. Whether that's something we want or something we would want for them, we use these manipulation tactics. And these are also done on us. And if we think about manipulation having negative side effects on all of us, then we are always in constant contact with manipulators and manipulation tactics. So I'm going to go over 4 different manipulation types. So this is going to be a part 1 of a 2-part series where I go over 4 different types of manipulator types. So the first one is going to be the observer. So the observer will always watch you. They're always analyzing and looking at the situation. So they sort of look at life as a big chessboard where they're analyzing, calculating, and trying to figure out their next move. So they're watching you. They're making sure that all the information you give them, they're going to be able to use it later. They're going to find the perfect opportunity to confront you. They're really good at blackmailing. So if they want to confront you, they will not do it unless they have something in their hand. They know exactly when to strike. They know exactly how to set the board, how to approach you, because they are analyzing what the best time, place, everything to confront you is. They're going to see when it'll be. They're going to see, is this going to be the right time? Do I have to wait? Do I have to do this? Do I have to move this piece over here? They're watching. So they're really good at outsmarting people. They are willing to lie, bend the truth, do whatever it takes to get what they want. And if you've ever wondered how you were persuaded to do something that didn't sound good to you, this is probably what has happened. An example of this is sort of going to a car dealership in which you go to a car dealership and you have a certain car in mind, a certain budget, and the dealer will make something else sound much better for you, even though it will not benefit you at all. Let's say you can't cross your budget, and they will make it seem like you should, and they will take a different approach and change the way they speak to you in order for you to buy this car. And it doesn't matter what the end is for you at the end of the day. What matters is their sale. And this is how you are sort of manipulated into doing something that you should not. The next manipulator type is going to be the tyrant. And this is going to be the classic narcissist. This is going to be somebody who uses their strength, their authority. They will use lots of fear to get you to fall in line. If these people are in a position of power over you, they will make sure that you know it. They will make sure that you feel it as well. So they will always pull rank. They'll always remind you, look, you're beneath me. I am the one that is in charge of you. I am your boss, for example. I am in control of the paycheck, and without me, you wouldn't have a job. Or the tyrant can be even a parent, and they can say, look, I'm your parent. Without me, you don't eat, for example. They can be very bossy, and they usually have very aggressive tendencies. So again, a very intimidating demeanor. They use lots of strength and fear to control you. And if you step out of line, they will force you back in using whatever tactics they want. Lots of times they can lack empathy, or they can come across as they lack empathy because they don't care what the end is for you as long as you do the thing they want you to do. And they will get you to do what they want no matter what. And this is how it can seem that way because they just are running you to the ground, and it doesn't matter. As long as they get the quota, they get the sale, or they get you to obey. That's it. That's all they want. And they don't care how you feel. They don't care what comes out of it. They don't even care if you hate them. It doesn't matter. You just did what they wanted to do. So the next manipulator type is going to be the nice guy. And these people are very hard to confront straight off the bat, because if you've ever experienced somebody who is nice to a lot of people around you, but they're not nice to you, you know exactly what I'm talking about, because the nice guy is typically nice to people they can get something out of. They're not naturally nice. They're not nice because they want to be or because they are just like that. Typically, someone who manipulates using these nice guy tactics, they are only nice because they have something that they want from somebody. So they overemphasize their kindness. They overemphasize their good deeds. You know, oh, everybody look at me. I'm doing all this nice stuff. And, you know, I'm so nice. They will remind you that they are nice in order to get something at the end of the day. So they can make you feel guilty, actually, for not doing what they want. So they will expect something in return for what they're doing. They will make sure that you know this. Look, all these nice things I've done for you. Look at all the nice things I've done for the community. I deserve this. I deserve a raise. I deserve whatever it may be. They're not nice to everybody. They're only nice to people that they know they can get something out of. They're strategically nice. There's nothing genuine about it. And this is why it can be very hard to confront them, because of all those points. It's very deceptive because they're not actually nice. So they can be very, very nice to people around you and not be nice to you. And if you confront them, since they're nice to everyone around you, it's almost like you're the bad one and they're the good one. And they have it set up like this on purpose so that you can't confront them. This is why they overemphasize their kindness, so that you can't come and tell them they're not. And so they exceed this expectation. You know, I do all these nice things. I can't be wrong. I'm the nice guy. So that must mean you're the bad one. You see, this is how they place themselves in that position. And the last one is going to be the defender. This is another tricky one, because the defender is someone who is on your side. They're always there for you. They're your number one fan. They're the ones that support you no matter what. And they're quietly pulling the strings in the background while also having your back. They'll make it seem like they have the best interest for you, and they can actually fake all of this. So what I mean is, this is the person who, let's say you trust. This can be your best friend. It can be anybody. And they have your best interest in their heart. Now, what can happen is, let's say you want to date somebody, for example, and they don't want you to. Let's say they're actually interested in you, or they're jealous of you, or they want you to be single, whatever the reason may be. They actually don't have the best interest for you, because let's say the person you want to date is someone that you really like and that you can see yourself marrying, you know, whatever it may be, the perfect scenario. They can discourage you just by emphasizing that they're always on your side. You know, oh, I think you shouldn't be with this person because, you know, they're a little bit weird, you know, and they'll put things in your ear and you trust them because they're always on your side. You know, they have your best interest in their heart. You know, how can it be that someone is manipulating you? Well, you know, sometimes people can have these different types of intentions and they can fake their empathy. But this is why this one's hard to detect, because sometimes it can be the people closest to you that can manipulate your entire life. And when this is happening, especially at a young age, it doesn't allow you to become independent, and actually prevents you from developing, from your own personal growth, your own personal development, because they're just whispering in your ear. And since you have a supporter, then you think they're actually there for you, when in reality, they have been in the background the whole time, kind of preventing you from making your own decisions. And so if you ever wonder how it is that you have lots of indecision, or things have always kind of been bad for you, this may be what's happening. And it's very subtle with the defender. Someone who is always on your side, they're actually the ones that are controlling everything. And they may actually be faking the whole thing. Now, these are just 4 manipulator types and how people may be manipulating you in your life. But the thing to also note about these manipulator types is that they change according to the situation and the environment. So at work, you may be a certain type, you may manipulate a certain way to get what you want, but at home, you may switch it up because the roles change. And as the roles change, you change your approach. And this is the way sort of we think naturally as human beings. We kind of want things to just go our way. And we use guilt, we use different things to get what we want because we think that is the right thing to do. Now, if you don't want to use manipulation as a form of communication, or you want to identify if you're being manipulated, it all starts with the same thing, and that's being very genuine, because this is just 4 ways that people can manipulate or you can manipulate. I'm going to make a second video on 4 more ways people can manipulate, but it's important to know how these things affect you and how these things happen in everyday life, because as I mentioned, it's very common and you can go anywhere and you can experience this. Whether you go out to buy a car, whether you go to work, your family, as I mentioned earlier, these things happen all the time. So it's very important to be informed and recognize what these things are doing in your life, whether they've made you feel worse about yourself, whether they made you feel indecisive, if it's made you feel more fearful, if it's made you have a sense of guilt. It's important to know. But these are the first 4 manipulator types.